The recent advancement in the laptop processors, the latest processor that are improving every aspect of the performance and efficiency, and as much as they are getting faster, they are also more energy efficient and reliable. They are now capable of machine learning and deep learning, ensuring those reliability and efficient operations, regardless of the workload and operation timing. That's the best features that are incorporated in latest processor based on those technological advancement for a new laptop. And amongst many types of laptop that being manufactured in recent times, selecting the right laptop is usually based on those computing needs, the performance, and those require a vast amount of not only research but also those resources. It is important to understand some of the significant parameters and those technologies that associated with the laptop processors. And since the last year, there have been many advancements in this area. We can see that many advancement has been seen in these technologies associated with laptop processors. And let's look some of the trends that have scaled the laptop processor industry. In order to increase the system performances, having multiple processing cores inside a single chip that proves to be very effective. The first thing that need to mention that there are different types of processor cores. That's the dual core, quad core, and octa core categories based on 2, 4, and 8 number of core segment respectively, and each entry level processor that needs some power to multiply those processing power and the trade utility that are involved to manage those computing operations and those performance tuning that are available and need to provide by this manufacturing unit for a latest version of processor. Now, the dual core processor that are employed with 2 processing unit, as I mentioned earlier, that's the features of dual core processors, followed by quad core processing having 4 processing unit, and nowadays we find octa core processor that have 8 processing cores. These multiple processing cores allow parallel execution of the task, which simply means that the tasks are broken down into subtasks, and each subtask is processed by multiple processing units in a specific time. This time frame is determined by this processing unit for consuming and performing those tasks using that core unit. May have a dual core for a 2, quad core for a 4, and octa core for a 8 processing cores are attached with it. And parallel processing is an efficient and effective way for processing multiple tasks simultaneously. That means it can process those tasks or subtasks each by at the same time. There are the other advantages that are associated with those multi-core processors, such as keeping the clock speed at an efficient level. That means the speed are performed with a efficient way that cannot create the lag or some performance issues for a particular task or subtask operation, while also increase the processing power when multiple cores are implemented on the same. Moreover, multiple core processors that are individual cores are running at the same speed as a single core, resulting in consumption of less energy. Though this clock speed is multiplied, threads, on the other hand, logically manage the processes to enhance the speed And trading is like pipelining. We can say that trading is very similar to the pipelining in conceptual, though where CPU is allowed to execute the multiple tasks at the same time. Multi-threading, like the name suggests, run those multiple thread of execution within an operating system that can include multiple system processes. Hence, threads are a virtual component that manage those tasks to improve those throughput and computational speed up. Most of the laptop processors feature 16 threads, which means 16 set of instructions can be managed within a single processing core. The clock speed for a number of calculations the processor can perform in 1 second. The high clock speed refers to high calculation ability within a time frame and fast speed and the processing requiring more power, the result of which more heat being generated. Every processor has a base clock speed nowadays. A latest laptop processor that deliver outstanding graphics performances. The graphics frequency and the processing cores and the threads display support and resolution that have been significantly improved in the latest processor versions. The turbo boost mode in processor that are essentially overclock, and in this case the system chooses the speed. Whenever there is a need for the more clock cycle, the system will first check the temperature. If there is sufficient thermal overheat for the overclocking, it will boost the speed as long as the system requires the boost. The amount of time the speed is boosted also depend on the processor's temperature. The latest processor improve the graphics performance and is deliver the outstanding graphics performance, the graphics frequency, processing cores, and the thread and the resolution that has been significantly improved. A number of graphics processing unit is that are involved with the embedded in this processor that has been increased for the core unit, and it includes some interesting features, graphical execution, and which are compute those processors for high throughput, providing the maximum performance by overclocking and turbo boost mode. Intel have combined a set of software tools that are tune the system for a maximum performances and customize those advanced system set and those settings for such things as overclocking and graphics. The software tool provide the ability to customize the laptop or computer performance according to the needs. With all these processing capabilities, there is an increase in overall power consumption and heat being generated. Now you optimize the power consumption. Thermal management naturally gets simplified. Therefore, most processors aim to increase the power consumption to take care of the combined problem. And today's intelligent computer system can learn from those feedback taken to enhance the user experience so they can adjust the operation. After continuous exposure to data and other inputs, machine learning refers to a process, obviously in this case which the machine activity learn from itself from a various past input without being explicitly programmed, and those technology takes those advantage of system stability, temperature maintenance, and clock frequency depending on the CPU workload that are involved. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.